Hey everybody, welcome to The Rude Awakening, where we got two eggs with a stack of hot takes. I'm Kyle Rudart, the host of this show, and with me on this week's episode, it's Dax Kukan. We're going to be talking about the NFL playoffs a little bit, the divisional round, talk about some of the matchups that have been going on, the results of those, what we think about the teams for the future, the Final Four in the playoffs. A lot of things happening, Dax.
Yeah, my Packers are out. Your
Yep.
Eagles are out. I
My,
mean, if we think about it, this is a crazy year to be in the NFL. A lot of teams that on the NFC side, a lot of teams that you wouldn't even expect it to be. I mean, you got the quarterbacks that you wouldn't even expect it to be: Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield. Who expected Baker Mayfield to be in the divisional round?
I thought the Buccaneers would be awful, and not to mention Lions. You brought up Jared Goff, making the first NFC Championship they've been in since 1991, I think.
1991 is crazy. I
Yeah.
don't even think I was a thought in my parents' mind.
All right. I don't think any of us were. So we're going to start off with the 49ers Packers game. I think that's a good game to start off with because my boy Dax here, Packers fan, like you mentioned. Hey, 7 seed, second round, though.
Listen,
Yeah.
first 7 seed to win a playoff game.
Yeah.
I'll take that any day of the
How about
week.
them Cowboys, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's pretty ridiculous if you had to put a timeline in front of me and say 10 years, let's see what the NFC playoffs look like. I'll be like, "Oh, Packers are going to beat the Cowboys and the Packers are going to lose to the 49ers." I'd put all my money on that,
Yeah.
and I bet it will hit some years.
Exactly. Every year, it's just, I mean, the NFL script, it's going to go, it's a repeated pattern. NFL, loves their, like flashbacks. They love telling the same old story. So, yeah, Packers beating the Cowboys, losing to the Niners. I mean, one thing I want to talk about with the Packers losing to the Niners, I mean, it was a close game. Like, 49ers didn't look the dominant team like we thought they were all season. The Packers looked like they could have a legit chance. I think it was the closest game
Yeah,
of all four games.
like I said, I think the Packers coming in young team. I think they came in with, hey, we have nothing to lose,
Right.
and I think when you have that mindset, you're very, very, very comfortable. Like you can see Jordan Love in the pocket; he's just having fun. These guys are
Yeah.
growing together. This is his first year without Aaron. Like I feel like if this year with Aaron, like drops all this stuff, they would just send him to the sideline, and then Aaron would kind of like throw him out in his mind.
Exactly.
He wouldn't grow with the guys. You could see last year he kind of had to. He had Romeo Dobbs, he had Christian Watson, you had all these guys, but now Jordan Love comes in and he's the first year starter. He's grown with Jaden Reed, Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Bo
Youngest
Melton.
team in the league, man.
It's
Yeah.
it's insane. I think our oldest wide receiver is 23 years old. The Packers' oldest wide receiver
Wild.
is 23 years old. That's unheard of. Some of these guys'
Right.
youngest wide receiver is 23 years old, if you think about it.
Right. They have a super bright future ahead of them with the Packers. I mean, you saw, yeah, back and forth in the 49ers game. Jordan Love, he throws that ball, places it right in the receiver's hands. He knows exactly the route they're going to run. He places it right in Dobbs' hand. Dobbs had some great catches as well. No discredit towards him. But Love just, he has that eye for it. I definitely see that in Jordan Love.
100%, and you could see like they bring it up constantly. The Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love.
Yeah.
You
Sit
don't want
behind
to
the quarterback for a few years, learn from them, and
you
it works. Yeah.
you don't want to put it out right now, but two back-to-back Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I
Yeah.
mean, that it looks really good right now. I'm not going to say Jordan Love is Hall of Fame
Not
because
yet. Yeah.
you never know. A sophomore slump could be coming, but hopefully not because he learned from the best, that learned from one of the best, and you can just see the footwork so crazy. Like
Yeah.
they're the same. They have the same jump pattern. Instead of putting all your momentum and weight into a throw and getting rocked, he's backing up, throwing it off his back foot, and he has the arm talent to get it there.
He's got that strength behind it. Yeah.
100%. When you start off the season with 3 wins, you kind of saw it in the beginning of the year.
It was supposed to be a
When-
rebuilding year for them. They weren't supposed to go as far as they did this
Exactly.
year. Yeah.
As a Packer fan, I was hoping for 5 wins. We were at 3-6 at one point, and that comeback win against the Saints put us into the playoffs,
Right.
nonetheless. But it really like I saw the team just took off randomly.
Yeah. Out of nowhere.
I was at the Giant game.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That's a
And
good game.
we lost at the end of the day, and
Right.
then we dropped one to the Bucks, almost dropped one to the Panthers. But I mean, Jordan Love looked terrible in the Giant game. Jordan Love looked all right against the Bucks. The defense was even worse.
I was
We'll
gonna
get
talk
that.
about the
We'll get to
defense.
that in a
Yeah,
second.
yeah.
But the defense looked even worse against the Bucks, and then it comes off you after you beat the Lions and the Chiefs. Both teams are in the NFC and AFC
Yeah,
championship right
two
now.
of the best of teams going on right now. And yeah, with that defense, we got to talk about that because yeah, Joe Barry getting fired at DC, it's game over for him, and you could tell it was getting raps for him because of how inconsistent his coordinating was. Like one game, they would be shutting down Pat Mahomes, shutting down Jared Goff. The next, they would struggle against guys like Tommy DeVito.
I mean, you you can't call plays the way Joe Barry does. They call it
Yeah,
third and Barry for a reason because I don't know what the percentage is on third down, but it just
it's high.
seemed like every time someone was getting a third down, even in the 49er game, you could expose it. At the end of the season, he picked it up, but you can't have end of the season.
Right.
Like you gotta have consistency throughout it all. We have 8 first rounders on that defense. If you think about it, Jair, Eric Stokes was out for the like a majority of the season. You have Darnell Savage, Lucas Van Ness,
Kenny Clark.
you got Kenny Clark, you got Rashawn Gary. Yeah, I'm just naming a few. You got
Good pickups
Quay
like
Walker,
Devondre Campbell.
Yeah, exactly. Devondre Campbell played out of his mind even last year. I mean, the team right now is in such a state where you need a guy that can play or coach defense. Joe Barry got fired, but Matt LaFleur is going to keep him on the team. Is he a good coach? Yes. Can he call plays? No. They're looking at, I think they're looking at like the DB coach for, I think
Keeping it within the
the
team.
Panthers.
Oh, okay, Panthers.
All those guys, and then linebacker, defender, the linebacking coach for the Giants.
Those are interesting picks, I feel.
Very interesting picks.
Yeah, I wouldn't look at those guys necessarily. I mean,
You listen. Even when the Packers hired Matt LaFleur, I was not expecting that. I was expecting Josh McDaniels. And
right.
you look at the Washington
Thank God.
team from
Yeah.
exactly. Thank God. You look at the Washington team from 2011, and
Oh,
you're
it's
thinking
insane.
Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay. It's that Mike Shannon coaching tree that's taking over the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan is at the pinnacle of it. He hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, but Sean McVay has, and there's proof in the pudding right there.
And I mean, yeah, like you brought up, LaFleur was under Shanahan. I mean, this is why I think the game was so close. LaFleur knows Shanahan a lot. He knows his plays. He knows the schemes. He knows what Shanahan likes to run. That's why I think the game was super close and why the 49ers struggled against the Packers so much, even though they were a 7 seed. I think it's just because Matt LaFleur's coaching is very good, and he kind of knows, like, Shanahan, how he runs his team.
It kind of really surprised me because when you think about the past and the Packers and the 49ers, I mean, they knocked them out in the wild card round about 2 years ago, I would say, to a last second field goal. Then this year, it was a close game. But the past couple years, it hasn't been close, like, at all. Raheem Mostert went for 4 touchdowns, like, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Was it an Aaron Rodgers problem? I don't think so.
No.
He's a Cali kid. Who knows? He grew up a 49er fan. He wants the 49ers to win. I'm just saying stuff.
That's a little conspiracy
A
going
little conspiracy
on.
there. I'm just saying stuff.
Yeah.
But I think Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan call really good games against each other.
Oh, it was definitely the best game, I think. In my opinion, it was my favorite game to watch.
I would agree. I'm not even being biased. Like,
Yeah,
I
your
would
team
agree.
lost. I mean,
Exactly.
it wouldn't be your favorite
Chiefs
game.
Bills are a very close second.
Yeah, that was another good game. Yeah.
But they all end in the same fashion.
The Packers and Bills are just mirror opposites of each other. I mean, we want to talk about the Packers offense. I mean, like, Love was placed in it. He was doing incredible. And then, like, just a couple of passes it resulted in big interceptions, both from Dre Greenlaw, funnily enough, for the Niners.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan Love tried passing it to Kraft. It was a little bit high up, I would say, bounced off Kraft's fingertips.
Yeah, it was behind him.
Yeah, a little bit behind, yeah. And then you had that crucial interception, which I wouldn't blame Love just because of Anders Carlson missing that field goal.
It sucks when you have that. That's what you get with the young group of guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you see what the 49ers did. The 49ers kept their poise. Hey, let's keep chugging. Let's bend, don't break.
Yeah.
Packers would drive the field, get a huge play. 2 times in the red zone, you can't score. I mean, there's something there that you gotta figure out eventually.
It's got to click eventually. And I mean, yeah, like the team, it runs well. I think like the defense got to switch it up. And yeah, Anders Carlson, young kicker. I mean, he made the first 2 from like 20 and 30 yards away, but that crucial last one, you gotta make that. No,
Yeah.
I get it. It's the pressure in playoffs. They're a young team, so you kind of get by. But I don't know, when your team is just, and when you're that close against the 49ers, and you have that opportunity to take down like these heavy favorites. I mean, yeah, you just gotta take care of them.
It's like Christmas came a little bit late for the Packers
Yeah.
because today they fired Joe Barry, keep him on the defensive squad, and then today they just signed Jack uh, Podlesny,
Okay.
kicker out of Georgia. I mean, I don't know the guy,
Right.
but
I mean, Georgia. I mean, they just dominated. You didn't really.
they dominate everyone.
I guess he's like a recent like export of Georgia, so
Yes.
maybe he could definitely be the guy for. I feel bad for Carlson, but yeah, you got to make stuff like that.
I don't know why they drafted him in the first place. I mean, he wasn't even that good
Right.
at Auburn. Like he drafted in the 6th round. I think he missed 5 field goals during the
Yeah.
season. I mean, it was the battle. It came down to the battle of the rookie kickers. Packers blocked the kick.
Right.
You could put that out there.
Yeah. I mean, the Packers special team. It was an interesting game for special teams. For them, I
Yeah.
would say because Colby Wooden with that field goal block
Yes.
kind of kept him in the game, and then you had Keyshawn Nixon with that great run, fumbles it. Luckily, it was recovered, but man, that could have been huge. I mean, this might have been as close a game if the 49ers got that ball.
You could ask any of my roommates. I screamed like a little girl when that
When
play
that happened.
happened. But I don't know who recovered it. Whoever that is, get that man a raise.
Yeah, I think I have it here. It was Eric Wilson, linebacker.
Eric Wilson.
Yeah,
Yes.
he recovered
Yes. Oh, he saved my entire night
it.
that
Give
night.
him a big contract.
I'm not gonna lie. He saved my entire night that night.
Yeah,
But you got to score in the red zone. And that's something that Packers didn't do.
yeah. Niners stopped him a lot in the red zone. Yeah.
Yes. It was the bend over break. You saw it a lot with the Patriots versus Dolphins this year.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick's gonna say, "Hey, we know you got Tyreek. We know he can run around, play like a little kid in the backyard. You got Jalen Waddle back there
Pop Warner
also.
football. Yeah.
Exactly. You got Devon Achan. But when we get from that 35 to goal line,
That's what you
let's
stop
see who
him.
can really beat each other.
Exactly.
Because it's cute. You can get down the field, but if I can hold you to 3 instead of 7, that's low key a win against the Miami Dolphins.
Exactly. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, like you said, that red zone coverage by the 49ers. I mean, it was mostly just Charvarius Ward covering because, my
Yes.
God, he was locking them down. The rest of the guys were just all right, I would say. But, like, I mean, so many times they could have converted. It's just that last oomph, and they couldn't get across sometimes. Other times, you had Jordan Love getting that touchdown to Bo Melton, but was on the very edge. So
Right.
that coverage way ahead was just really good. I mean,
Yeah.
they had to do any way they could to score. And, I mean, talking about scoring. I mean, earlier in the game, you talk about first quarter, the 4th-and-1 QB sneak.
4th and 1 QB sneak. You can mark that down as probably
Yes.
top 5 most important plays
Yeah.
of the game. Sure, it didn't go the Packers' way. I'm not even biased. I'm just saying he got there. Even if it was Lamar Jackson reaching over.
Reached over, yeah.
If Justin Fields reached over, and I'm a Packer fan,
Mm-hmm.
he's a Bear. If Justin Fields reached over, I would even say that's a first down.
Yeah, I mean, I love that LaFleur took that risk too. You're 4th-and-1. You got to go for that touchdown.
You got nothing to lose.
Exactly,
You've had nothing to lose all season.
Exactly. Yeah, just go for it. And I appreciate that effort from LaFleur. But then just failing that. I mean, you're so short. I mean, that's an instance where I don't know, Jordan Love should have gone to the ref being like, "Yo, man, what do you got against me?"
Yeah, he did ask, and
Yeah.
the guy said no. It wasn't there. They reviewed it as well, and to be honest, I thought it was a first down, but
Yeah.
apparently the most important ones on the field didn't.
And then we've been talking about how good the Packers kept up with the Niners. I mean, when you brought up the defense with Joe Barry, I mean, they could not stop CMC.
No.
And it sucks too because they have the talent. You got guys like Preston and Clark, but just CMC, just that big run he had, that 50-yard touchdown.
But the question is, who can stop CMC?
No, he's best running back in the league.
100%.
No one can stop that guy.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, him and Shanahan, they're buddies. They're best buddies. They're 1-2 tandem duo.
Talk about fleecing the Panthers.
Yeah.
How do you leg up someone?
He got hurt constantly in the Panthers, goes in the Niners, and he's just the healthiest man alive. He's never.
I mean, you get beat up behind that offensive line. You see CMC now. They got Trent Williams.
Just run right
there.
behind him. You're good.
Run behind Trent Williams, and honestly, rushing yards should count for Trent Williams because that man does enough. When you see Trent Williams pulling, you do not want to get in front of that moving bus.
Nah, you want to see Trent Williams in an alleyway. Let's just say that.
If
I'm McCaffrey, I would be McCaffrey in that spot behind Trent. Go get him. I'm gonna go do my thing.
I 100% agree with that.
But CMC was incredible. I mean, but how do you feel about Brock Purdy though?
Listen, everyone. You can ask anyone. It's up and down. No one really knows what Brock Purdy is. Period.
He's just there.
Yeah,
I mean, we saw it with Garoppolo. I mean, just like it's just Shanahan being like, just dump it off to your running back. You have amazing weapons. Even without Debo, you still got like Ayuk, Kittle, Jawan Jennings did really good.
I 100% agree. I mean, you get someone that can with half a heartbeat out there,
Yeah.
and I think they could be very successful. I mean, you saw Jimmy G. What happened when he went to the Raiders?
Became like the worst quarterback in the league, and then
Aiden O'Connell was starting for them
exactly,
right now.
and he did better than Garoppolo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's terrible what like you can. That is like the first team that I could say you don't need a franchise guy in order to win. Like that's I've never seen out of the NFL in my entire life because
A team like that, you don't need a franchise quarterback to possibly win a Super Bowl.
exactly. You're exactly
I
right.
mean, why do you think Kyle Shanahan wanted to take Mac Jones back in like 2021? I think when they took Trey Lance.
Yeah, they picked Trey
'Cause
Lance.
Mac Jones. I mean, obviously we see in the Patriots he hasn't been the best, but imagine if he had Shanahan's system.
Yes.
I think he would be like what just Brock Purdy is now.
I mean,
I would be completely honest.
You can put anyone in that situation, I believe, and they will be like considered what Brock Purdy is right now. I think I guess what Miami is trying to do down there. I mean, Tua.
They're trying.
I don't know. They don't got the offensive line enough there, but like you're gonna see right now, you're gonna see Caleb Williams get drafted. You're gonna see Drake May get drafted. You're gonna see Jane Daniels get drafted. Michael Penix. You see C.J. Stroud, and become that guy.
Right. C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love.
Yes.
You mentioned. Yeah.
You see, but Bryce Young, he's having a rough go. I think if you put Bryce Young in the 49ers' shoes or behind the helm,
Yeah. Exactly.
I think he wins. I think he wins a lot.
You think more than Brock Purdy? That's crazy.
100%.
Yeah.
I think Brock's a winner, but I think Bryce Young is just on a different level of talent that's going to waste in Carolina right now.
Yeah, he has more. Yeah, Bryce Young definitely has more talent, I would say, than Brock Purdy. It's just Brock's got those fundamentals because you're in that system. I mean, yeah, Brock. I mean, he was looking like Tom Brady out there at some points with the man coverage. You guys were playing against the Niners.
Yeah.
Kittle wide open, just like absolutely just outran Darnell Savage.
Oh yeah. I mean, Darnell Savage also dropped the pick six. That could have been that could have been a change of momentum. I mean,
yeah, maybe that's how they coached for that one. But
yeah, Jawan Jennings.
Oh,
talk about that guy.
Some of the catches those guys had, like Jennings and Ayuk, made like were the reason those guys got the first downs, get down the field. Brock
100%.
was like put him in almost impossible places, but they were still able to just maintain it.
100%. It doesn't even look good coming out of his hand though.
No, yeah, it's like wobbling. It's just like you're like if I'm a 49ers fan, I'm on the edge of my chair just waiting for that interception.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of guy.
Yeah,
but
obviously I'm saying like Brock's a good quarterback, but people would put him up there. But when you see like the O line, the weapons he has, and just I don't know, even struggling with that in some situations, I don't know. It's like a what if. I guess it's like a what if. You're like, oh, maybe he's not all that.
Obviously, I'm not an NFL quarterback, but I think if you put me back there, I think I could win one or two games with them.
Call a couple screen passes, be like Debo, run it.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but I think isn't Debo out for the next game for the conference championship?
I believe so. He got rocked on something and hurt his shoulder.
See, that's not good. I mean, we'll talk about that later with the conference championships predictions, but like without Debo, I mean, they barely beat the Packers without him. So
yeah,
I mean,
it's and don't get me wrong. I mean, you can't discount what the Packers did and what the 49ers did. I mean, that was crazy. I get it, let them score. And then I don't even consider like this Jordan's fault. I just consider that Anders Carlson, you need to make that kick.
Exactly, yeah.
You need to make that kick. That is the most important kick of your life up till now. Like, you have to make that kick. You have to breathe. You have to do something. You have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because then you're forcing the 49ers to score a touchdown. I think
it's right in their hands.
I think Keyshawn Nixon let CMC score so we could have a chance on offense.
I mean, that's a good point. So you could like come back and try and do something with that on the offensive side of the ball. But then just Carlson missing that kick. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. These are the points where you miss Aaron in these situations because you're expecting, oh, there's 53 seconds left on the clock.
Got it. Yeah.
Here's Aaron Rodgers.
And then Jordan Love was like Brett Favre, and he was like, "Oh, let me throw it to triple coverage."
That's exactly what happened. I mean, I used to play lacrosse, and the entire time, don't force it. Don't force it over the middle. Don't force it to the crease guy.
Right. That's when he should have thrown it out of bounds.
Yeah, go live another down. The clock's gonna stop.
Yeah.
Figure it out from there. Matt LaFleur's gonna call something, but he saw something. He saw Watson over the middle and with 3 guys covered.
Right. I get
And
the look he had. It's just like, when you're in this spot like that, I know you're still young, you're still figuring it out, so that's why we can give you like a little bit of slack. It's just like you just gotta throw it out of bounds at that
yeah,
point.
he will. I have no doubts that Jordan will learn from this experience
Right.
at all costs.
Yeah, but he's like secure. I mean, we'll talk about it later on with the Buccaneers Lions game because that ended in a similar fashion. We'll see how their quarterback shapes up,
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, because he threw an interception right down the middle.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about him. So the kick Ernest Carlson missed was wide left. Let's talk about the mirror team of the Bills with Tyler Bass missing wide right.
I mean, talk about owning a franchise.
Yeah, the Chiefs just run over the Bills.
It
It's
seems to
crazy.
be every year. It just someone has someone's number on each side, and the
Yeah.
49ers have the Packers number. Packers have the Cowboys number. The Chiefs have the
Bills
Bills,
number.
and it's just it's insane how someone, even with 13 seconds left on the clock,
Yeah,
Patrick Mahomes can still find a way to beat you. I'm talking about
He's
last year,
insane.
but like
yeah.
even with nobody, you think nobody's on the team right now. What can
Yeah.
you name one person you thought was going to be like that's going to be the guy this year?
On
It
the
was
Chiefs
probably-
receiving core?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, obviously besides Travis Kelce because he's been there for 10 plus years. I mean,
that's what I'm.
their number one before the season I thought was Kadarius Toney because the Super Bowl performance he had last year against the Eagles, he was really good.
Oh yeah,
He was him.
I
yeah.
agree.
But then, oh my God, his ugly ass just he couldn't catch anything for the season.
He couldn't catch a cold, and
No,
even if he tried, and when you put Rashid Rice out there,
Even MVS, man, like just out of nowhere.
MVS takes the top off of defense.
Yeah.
like no other. Like
you would know, Packers, yeah.
100%. Like just put him up, have him run a post, have him run
Yeah.
a 9 route, and you're gonna get somebody open. Like he's gonna get open, especially when we had Devontae. Oh, that was really
Won you some
really
games
good.
there with MVS.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, like they weren't. The Chiefs recently they look like a completely different team since the playoffs. Like regular season, they were looking awful. Like I was like, how is this team going to win a playoff game? And then they beat the Dolphins in the cold. Then they've beaten the Bills in a really competitive game. And yeah, it's like the receivers coming out. Travis Kelce looked like the Kelce we saw just last year,
Yeah.
and compared to what we saw this year with everything going on with him.
Yeah, I mean Taylor Swift is in the stands. I can't
I was
take
so happy
it.
to see her.
I can't take it anymore.
I want them to show her more actually.
You, I mean, that makes one of us. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, but like Kelsey really revitalized himself in this game. I felt like he was key in that game against the Bills. Like no, the Bills defense couldn't stop him in that coverage. Like they tried everything they could to stop those Chiefs receivers, and they really just couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, Rashid Rice too. Talk about this rookie class this year.
Rookie class has
Jeez.
been insane. I'm gonna talk about with the Lions.
Oh,
later
yeah.
on. Their rookie class was great.
I mean, you look at the Packers being young with that rookie class,
Yeah.
and then you look at the Lions with that rookie
Yeah,
class.
2023 has been a good year for rookies.
You look
Yeah.
you look at Puka, like Texans.
Yeah,
We'll get
Stroud
that.
and Will Anderson.
We'll
Yeah,
get to that later, but
yeah.
Chiefs and Bills, these are two teams that are cemented, and
Yeah, past 5 years, our generation were like, oh, these two teams, yeah, they're always going to be in the playoffs. This is a rivalry.
yeah, it's Brady. I would say this is the modern day Brady Manning.
Yeah,
I
except this time it's just Brady spanking Manning.
Exactly,
Yes,
yes.
Manning can't catch a break.
exactly Manning can't do anything.
Yeah.
Manning being Josh Allen.
Yeah, in this case, yeah. Because, I mean, man, Josh Allen, he was all over the field. Like, man can run. He can run.
Oh yeah, Josh. I think the biggest thing. I think RG3 said it in pregame. He said the biggest thing in this game is going to be Josh Allen's legs.
Yeah,
He used them
they carried him.
100%.
Yeah, like, he's like one of the best improvising quarterbacks I've ever seen recently. Like, what he can do on the fly, just giving it off to James Cook real quick, like a
Yeah.
lateral pass, it's just like genius moves like that.
And he's
Off
he's a big guy. I don't want to tackle Josh Allen.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
think
know if you
these
can.
guys want to tackle
Yeah.
Josh Allen in the cold either.
Exactly, yeah, because he can just go too. Like he has speed behind that, and then also you have the power in his arm. But that didn't really come into play. Really, you didn't see a lot of deep passes from Josh Allen in this game.
You saw the one that landed perfectly in Stephon Diggs' hands
Right,
that he dropped. I mean, Stephon Diggs has been having a really bad season.
he was rough, and then this game, yeah, he had like 3 catches, like 21 yards, but he didn't do. He had a lot of other like targets.
Yeah.
but they didn't really bring that up.
I mean, I've had him in fantasy, and
Yeah,
I drafted him in the second round. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And then he had like a good like first 5 weeks. All of a sudden, he's falling off a cliff.
yeah, no, it's. I mean, you see guys like Shakir stepping up, like and Gabe Davis is out unfortunately, so it's like who can Josh Allen pass to? So it's just a lot of like James Cook and him just trying to carry this offense.
Yeah, their defense is not an issue. I don't believe.
No, it wasn't bad. It was just like the Chiefs' offense was just when it gets going, you can't stop the Chiefs' offense.
Yeah,
It's
and
just hard.
you could see this year, the Bills really, even when they drafted Dalton Kincaid,
Mhm.
everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my God, it's gonna be a defense. It's gonna be defense. They're gonna try to stop the Chiefs." No,
He was their
the
leading
only way
receiver.
the
Yeah.
only way to stop the Chiefs is to outscore them.
That's the only way you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the philosophy now is, hey, let's go put two heavyweights out there.
Yep.
They're not gonna wrestle. They're just gonna give each other left, right, left, right, left, right.
It's gonna be a lot of
And
blows.
whoever knocks each other out is gonna happen, and
Yeah.
it's gonna happen. I mean, Dalton Kincaid really turned up at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs, you got Gabe Davis, you got Shakir. Shakir played a huge role this season.
Oh, he's been great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I mean, the Bills,
Yeah.
they're owned by the Chiefs, but they're not a bad team.
Oh no, 100%. But I mean, everyone knows the Bills can definitely go all the way. It's just they keep running into the Chiefs in the second round. So,
Yeah.
and then they just can't stop that offense when they get going.
It's just
I
very
mean,
unfortunate.
what's up?
It's just very unfortunate.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I love that you brought up like the two heavyweights boxing because it's just a lot of ham hocks left, right,
Oh, yeah.
and it turns out the little Achilles heel on that Josh Allen's leg was that Tyler Bass field goal miss.
Yeah, I mean, both you could see in the Packer game, it had the ending of both games with a game-losing interception with Baker Mayfield, and then
Yeah.
and then a
The NFL script went crazy.
basically
Man.
game-losing field goal for the
Yeah.
Packers too, but it was
Yeah.
for the Bills. I mean,
And it's crazy too. I saw this on during the broadcast. Tyler Bass. It was right before he kicked the field goal. He's 9 for 9 in the last 2 minutes of game or overtime when trailing by 3 or less points.
it's just really
Probably jinxed him
unfortunate
so
there.
hard, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think my favorite play of that whole game was the DeMar Hamlin fake punt. Dude, that was
The Cinderella story.
yeah, right. They were like, "Come on, he's been winning comeback player of the year. You know, you got to give him something."
It's not a movie. It's not a movie. I can tell you that much.
People are saying Joe Flacco, like he did something.
Yeah.
Dude, DeMar Hamlin. When we saw that fake punt, I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
So what even happened? Why did they call that?
Oh,
Fourth, what was it? Like 4th and 5. It's still a close game. Like
Fourth and I
the
guess
fake punts are crazy.
I guess you try to throw him off. That's
Yeah.
the only reason why I could think that. I guess they probably have been drilling it since week 1,
hmm
or they've been drilling it since the preseason.
I bet you it was just right at the start of the year. Like we need to do something for DeMar.
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
playoffs against the Chiefs.
It's either that or they kept that in their back pocket for this game. Like you're gonna see a lot whenever you see a fake play
yeah.
in season, or even like you can see something versus even as little in college. You're not gonna see a lot of fake punts,
No.
and then you're gonna see Georgia. You saw Georgia versus Alabama 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're going to run a fake punt. Kirby Smart calls a timeout.
Yeah.
Right as the play is getting snapped, Alabama gained the first down, but they
Yeah.
called a timeout
That was
because
crazy.
Kirby stopped it.
Yeah, that was just good, really good intuition, just
Yeah.
like off the top of his head.
I mean, you get like, if you get these guys in a situation where, hey, we're gonna practice this and hold it in our back pocket until the most important game of the season against our arch rival
yeah,
in the playoffs. Let's go, throw everything at them, throw the kitchen sink at them,
Right.
because I mean, the Baltimore Ravens, I think they might go to the Super Bowl.
they're pretty dominant. Yeah,
They're pretty dominant. But if the Bills, if you have that thing or that thought in your head where you're like, if we beat these guys, we're in,
hmm
throw everything at them.
exactly. Do everything you could, like everything but the kitchen sink. I mean, the game was crazy, just so much back and forth. I thought the refs were gonna get involved at one point because there was that one late hit call, and Josh Allen didn't really call because like he was just completely standing still, got the first down. Chiefs coming in. There was some time before that when there was I think there was like they looking for a P. They called a PI in the Bills when there was no illegal contact at all. So I'm like, here comes the refs backing up the Chiefs again.
Yeah, you can even see it with like the Bengals versus the Chiefs when the guy pushed Mahomes out of bounds. You can't do that.
Right, but that was last year, right?
Yeah, that was last year. I mean,
yeah.
you can't do that.
Right.
But it's. Do I want to say the NFL scripted? No, but there's
I'm saying it.
yeah, there's definitely some things where it makes you scratch your head and
Yeah.
you wonder if the people in Las Vegas have something to say.
And then people were starting to get a little, like, the refs back up. She's getting like, all right, what if we make Nicole Hardman fumble in the end zone? So
Yeah.
a touchback. Why is this? I mean, I love that's still a rule for the Bills,
Yeah.
but like that's crazy. That's still a rule. Just like Nicole Hardman fumbled twice in that game. I mean, you just gotta cut him.
Yeah, you get him from the Jets. He was really good for you a couple years ago.
Right.
I guess being around the Jets just
Something
it's like
happened.
dirty
Huh?
laundry.
Yeah, right. It's like you can't get it off. It's like that
Yeah,
stink. It's like
ever.
nah, it's that sticks around.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just a crazy game. I mean the Bills. It's just unfortunate. I mean, it's crazy though because beginning halfway through the year they didn't look like a good team. Then they fired Ken Dorsey, their offensive coordinator. Looked like a whole different team. I mean, they started like their offense started really going. Like the defense was always good.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you lose to the Broncos.
Yeah, that's when you gotta switch it up, man.
Yeah. When you lose to the Broncos, you got to switch it up.
Sean
Miami
Payton's a good
puts-
coach and all, but the talent. I mean,
it's just not there.
No.
I mean, you lose to the Broncos, and at that point, you're looking at yourself in the mirror, and you're thinking, "What am I doing wrong?"
right? Yeah.
You're
What's not
tired of
working?
blaming other people. What am I doing wrong? What do we need to fix internally?
Mhm.
Even though the Chiefs are a great team,
Yeah.
I mean, you have Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey. Some people might think that's all you need.
We found out in this regular season, no, you need some guys to step up like Rasheed Rice.
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
And I mean, overall, yeah, just the Bills, how they switched it up. They were looking, and they looked great here in the loss. Like, it's not like, obviously, the field goal, the missing the field goal sucks. But overall, they looked like a great team. It's just, the Chiefs. And I think their biggest, like, flaw going into the Ravens is that as long as you don't get them in that groove, you'll see regular season Chiefs. You'll see Mahomes getting frustrated that his guys won't catch anything. As long as his receivers just don't catch the ball, I think you can beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, Ravens do have a really good chance. I believe that they're the best defense in the league.
Yeah, their linebackers, they have the best linebacker.
Oh yeah, Roquan Smith looks really good
and
right
Patrick
now.
Queen's been stepping up too.
Oh yeah, 100%. That was a very good pick coming out of LSU
Yeah.
a couple years ago.
Great draft pick by them.
Yes, 100%. And it's kind of funny to think that the pick that the Chiefs used to draft Patrick Mahomes was the Bills pick that they traded back.
Yeah.
You could make an argument that the Bills won the trade because they got 3 All-Pros or
Out of
3
it?
Pro
Yeah,
Bowlers or
it was
whatever.
because I mean they got Tre'Davious White.
Yeah.
Okay. There's 2 other guys. I mean, yeah, we're talking about the Ravens now. I mean, do you want to switch to the Ravens Texans game?
We can 100% switch to the Ravens-Texans game.
I mean,
because
I didn't put a lot of notes down for this game just because, oh my god, the Ravens just spanked them, man.
Yeah.
They just said, "What's up?" Knocking on the door, being like, "This is our house now."
here's a rookie quarterback. That's what you call a rookie quarterback.
That's exactly right. Because CJ Stroud actually looked like a rookie here, but
Yeah.
he's been looking great
Oh.
before that. I mean, obviously he had like the perfect QBR against the Browns. Same with Jordan Love against the Cowboys.
Yes.
Like those 2 guys looked awesome in the wild card round, and Love still looked really good. Stroud, on the other hand, it's just that Ravens defense just shut him down.
Yeah, I mean, you get a rookie quarterback, and I'm not saying CJ Stroud's not good.
Yeah.
He's very good. I
Oh,
really
yeah.
liked him coming out of Ohio State. He never beat Michigan. That's one thing that's what everyone put their stock on. They said he was stupid. He came out, he took the Wonderlic test, and he did very poorly on it.
Yeah, they got low IQ. Like, all right, dang.
I mean, it shouldn't matter that much.
Exactly. Yeah.
He is a baller. If you
Oh,
can
yeah.
go out and ball, I want you on my team.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can throw the ball, I want you on my team. They draft Will Anderson. Will Anderson is, I think he's front runner for defensive rookie of the year.
Oh, I think he's definitely gonna win. I would think. I think it might be both Texans, honestly.
Yeah. Which would be, I think that's the second time
That's happened.
since Sauce and Garrett.
Which is crazy.
won
That
it.
just happened last year.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the same team. I mean, Texans were awesome. I mean, up to this point, obviously, like, because winning that division over the Jaguars was just hilarious. I just laughed, and that Texans Colts game was awesome to watch because it could have been either way. Really.
Yeah. Listen, the Texans. If you want to buy stock in 2 teams right now, you buy stock in the Texans, and you're going to buy stock in the Packers.
Yeah, exactly. I would definitely take stock in those 2 teams.
Yes.
D'Amico Ryans is a great head coach. I mean,
same thing with Matt LaFleur. Like Matt LaFleur, young.
Yeah.
D'Amico Ryans, young.
I mean, yeah, Ryan's first year being a head coach, and I mean, it was him like learning on the fly, like against a really fantastic team in the Ravens, like what works and what doesn't. I mean, Lamar Jackson, he had his defense as a career high blitz rate of 75%. That's the highest Lamar's ever been blitzed, and he still went 13 of 18 for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns against whenever he got blitzed.
And 2 touchdowns rushing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was just incredible. He might be the MVP of the league.
I would say he's the MVP of the league.
Because obviously you're not supposed to consider the playoffs, quote unquote, but like even during the season, he looked awesome. So I think it's definitely Lamar.
Yeah.
Lamar's to lose, and yeah, I mean the Texans like just threw everything they could at him, and it's just a matter of Baltimore being the better team, having the more veteran experience. I won't forgive him though for allowing Aguilar to get his first playoff touchdown as an Eagles fan.
Got better hands than
He
Aguilar.
actually caught that
That's
one.
That's a funny video.
He can't catch anything. No, but they did. I mean, yeah, the Ravens they did amazing. Odell gonna get another ring for free.
I
No, I'm
mean,
kidding. Maybe don't want to jinx me.
I feel bad for OBJ because he popped his ACL
Yeah.
in that game.
Oh.
But, geez,
Yeah.
listen. The Ravens.
I mean,
they look very, very, very good.
They didn't allow
even
us-
without Mark Andrews.
Oh, dude, Isaiah Likely was just like, yeah, I'll step up real quick. Yeah, he was great too.
Who I believe Isaiah Likely could go on another team and play really well. Like I think he could be a starter.
Yeah, if they ever want to like trade him for like some good pieces to help him out, if they ever get like, because you can make this franchise last for a while. You could definitely get Likely for like a good pick.
Yeah, but I don't think they would trade Likely just simply off the fact that
Mark Andrews gets hurt again.
And Lamar loves his tight ends. His tight ends.
Great. I mean, the power behind him. Yeah, Mark Andrews. I mean, Likely can learn behind Mark Andrews too. Like, yeah, just overall, the Ravens just look dominant. Defense shut him down. Not a single offensive touchdown. The only way the Texans scored a touchdown was that kick return from what was it? Steven Sims.
Yes,
great touchdown.
Yeah, it was a good touchdown. I mean, I thought that was gonna leg up the Texans, but it kind of was just their little bright spot. They flicked.
Yeah, because first half they looked close, and the second half it was just like a different team.
Oh yeah, 100%. You come out and you plan against a rookie quarterback. You really don't know what they're gonna throw at you.
Yeah.
C.J. Stroud has played out of his mind this entire year. He's not.
I mean, he didn't take a single sack.
No, I mean he gets rid of the ball. You put Nico Collins around him. You put Tank Dell. Tank Dell wasn't out.
That's a big thing, I think, not having Tank Dell too, because he was lighting it up.
Tank Dell takes the top off your defense.
Yeah.
Like none other.
Yeah.
And that kid, you stick him anywhere on the field, I think he's going to be a star. I wanted the Packers to draft him. I think he was he was one of those guys coming out of the draft where you're like, he's gonna fall, but you really want him because he's a spark plug.
I mean, yeah, Tank Dell brings that energy, and obviously they were missing that because they just couldn't get that offense going in the second half. Obviously, the Ravens defense, because Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen, like we mentioned, they were missing Marlon Humphrey too. Like they were missing a big player too, but they were still able to just shut him down.
Yeah, that's what Lamar Jackson gives you. I mean, you
get that energy. Yeah.
You can talk about another rookie. Here's more rookies coming into the conversation.
Yeah.
C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, Zay Flowers.
Oh my God.
Zay Flowers on that side, that dude has ridiculous
Him
hands.
and Puka have been the best rookie receivers this year.
I would agree. Jordan Addison even took over in the middle of the season. Like when Jaggers went down, you saw Jordan Addison step up in a big way there.
Yeah, huge step up too, and especially too when you're missing Kirk Cousins too, your star quarterback, and you have to deal with Dobbs or I don't know whoever they had after Dobbs. I'm not even gonna lie, I kind of forgot. But like just Addison being a rookie and able to maintain that, but that's besides the point because I mean now we're seeing Ravens conference championship against the Chiefs. I don't even know what the Ravens' biggest flaw is really. I mean it's a matter of
it's very hard to find a flaw
in that Ravens team.
Yeah, exactly. You can't really point it out. You could say receivers, but they've been balling out. You got an old OBJ.
The O line is crazy. I mean, Ronnie Stanley just holds them off, and the rest of the guys too. And Lamar has so much time. And then like even if they're getting blitzed, Lamar just I can just run.
Yes, quick. I 100% agree with that. I think Lamar being able to escape the pocket, and I don't even consider like he's a quarterback.
Yeah,
Lamar's also a skill position player.
He's a Swiss Army knife.
Yes,
he can do it all.
I feel like after he's done with quarterback, like you could put him in a package, and you could throw the ball to him, have him run the rock. I mean, I don't think you can stop Lamar Jackson right now.
Exactly. I mean, obviously, because they missed J.K. Dobbins all year, and it's like even at that point, it's like I mean, we can put anyone at running back. It's like the 49ers with the quarterback. You can put anyone at the Ravens running back because it's just gonna be Lamar running. Even though guys like Gus Edwards and Justice Hill have been doing great.
Yeah, they did really well. And I forgot who tore their ACL like one of the last games of the year. That kid was going off too.
Oh yeah. Oh, like for the Ravens?
Yes.
This year, Keaton Mitchell?
Maybe.
Okay. I think that was his name, but yeah, he was doing. I think he was that young player you're talking about. He was doing really good, and then he got hurt. But yeah, the Ravens. I mean, I think it's their Super Bowl to lose. I'm gonna be honest. You'll hear my full-on predictions later, but it's theirs to lose. And
Keaton Mitchell was the running back.
It was, yeah. I know my stuff. Yeah. I got it. And then the last game we're talking about, it's the Buccaneers and Lions. So this game was interesting because it was actually pretty. It was a high-scoring, close game, but I would argue it was a defensive game. because like that's what pretty much won the game for the Lions.
Yeah, you put. I mean, anyone. That's why Tom Brady went down to Tampa in the first place, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you get a great
that's
defense.
what he had with the Patriots. Yeah,
You get a great defense, and then they're missing. They were really just missing a quarterback. Tom
right.
Brady stepped in. I mean, they are built head to
Perfectly for
toe,
him.
perfectly fine.
Yeah,
The offensive line is great. I mean, you
it's
got
still good too. Yeah,
yeah, you got Mike Evans, you got Chris Godwin, you got Kate Otten,
yeah.
you got all these guys.
Trey Palmer did really good
Trey
too.
Palmer,
Yeah,
another rookie who
yeah,
could speedster. I mean,
yeah. He was killing it. Yeah,
those guys are incredible. Mike Evans had a couple drops, but
yeah.
it's
But even then,
whatever.
like Mike Evans was the one kind of keeping him in the game too, because even though he had those drops, he had those big catches. Like Baker was just like, "F it." Mike Evans down there somewhere, give him that big fourth and like I forgot it, like 4th and 20
Yeah,
pass.
yeah,
Getting that first down was crazy.
yeah.
Actually, what's funny here is that because I was talking about like the Lions defense and Baker Mayfield, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, former Eagle, got the interception. He said something to Baker on Twitter. He said this group probably is one of the better groups we don't face all year, besides that Tampa group. If you get that Tampa group a good quarterback, that's a great group. Evans, Godwin, and Russell Gage, that's a great group. I played against them for real. And then Baker responded, I mean, I don't think he's really watched film because he mentioned Russell Gage. We love Russell, but he hasn't played a snap this year for us. Just making fun of Gardner Johnson.
Yeah, that was funny. And then he picked them off and handed them the
Yeah,
ball.
and then after that game on IG Live, CJ said, that boy said, boy, you don't watch film. Boy, I called the play within 2 minutes of the game, and I tossed that bitch back at you, too. I hope you got it. Make sure you send that with the jersey, too. I was like, oh, my
It's
God.
so
Made it heated.
NFL trash talk is just so
Hilarious.
funny, man.
Yeah, you got to... Yeah, he might be fined though for that IG Live.
Yeah,
It's
whatever.
dangerous, man.
Who cares? Millionaires, just
Yeah,
pocket
Gardner
change.
Johnson's like, don't care. I'm in the conference championship again.
Hell yeah! I
Yeah.
mean, Baker Mayfield was playing. He was playing really good
Oh, he was
too.
doing awesome.
I mean, he's got that
300 plus
moxie.
yards. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that moxie, that cockiness, that confidence
Swagger,
to
yeah.
go out there and toss the rock. Talk about another team that had nothing to lose.
Right.
They had nothing to lose this year. Baker Mayfield was in a quarterback
The carousel.
competition.
Oh, yeah.
He was
Yeah.
in a quarterback competition with Kyle Trask.
They were wondering if, like, is Kyle Trask going to be him? And they were like,
Kyle Trask
yeah.
was rode his way to victory from Kyle Pitts.
Because I am interested to see what the Bucks do. Because, yeah, Baker was on that 1 year, $4 million contract. I would think they re-sign him because they have a too low. I mean, it's a very good QB class this year if they were to trade up and go for a younger quarterback. But I think they re-sign Baker because you also have guys like Mike Evans who's expiring. You want to probably bring him back. Even though he's getting older, but he's just been like one of the best receivers for the last 10 years. Super
Yeah.
underrated.
You can say he's one of the best. Do I believe he's Hall of Famer? No.
Yeah, it's a tough class to get into. Yeah.
Yeah. But Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, like that's such a good
1-2
team.
punch. Yeah.
Exactly. It like Chris Godwin can go off, Mike Evans can go off. You can just
Yeah.
throw the ball up to Mike Evans.
Yeah, Rachaad White too. He was really good. Awesome.
Talk about someone that can run, dude. That
Yeah.
dude can run and he could kill you in the pass game.
I mean, yeah, Baker was slinging it to everyone he could. So 300 plus yards for Baker. Yeah, Rachaad White looked great. And yeah, I mean, even Kate Otten got a good touchdown in. He got some good yards. Like the whole Bucks offense looked really good, which is surprising because Todd Bowles is coaching the team, and Todd Bowles is not known to coach an offense, bro.
No, he really
No.
doesn't. And then why would you say that in your presser?
Right.
I don't want to take a timeout. The game's practically over. Game's not over until the clock hits
He needs some
triple
better PR,
zeros.
man. He needs like someone to talk for him. Like in the press conference, like, you know what, Todd, you ain't gonna talk today. We're gonna have someone come
Yeah.
up for you real quick. Yeah, because I mean, he's one of the best defensive coordinators. I mean, that's the reason he got the head coaching job is because how good he was as coaching the defense.
Yeah.
And they were able to stop the Lions' offense too. I mean, Dan Campbell, he's got the cojones, man. He doesn't care. He'll go for it. He'll just chuck him out there, fourth and goal. Doesn't care.
He's biting kneecaps off.
He's biting the kneecaps, and Todd Bowles, he just got out coached, man. That's just how it works.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not a big Todd Bowles fan.
No,
when
I get it.
when Arians retired, I thought they weren't
not
gonna
good.
hire like Todd Bowles. I thought they were gonna hire out. outside.
Outsource. Yeah, try and. I mean, they could this year. Honestly, they could be like, Todd, you're going back to DC. We're going for Belichick.
Yeah, I mean that's the smart ones step down before they get fired.
Yeah.
Bill
So they still
Belichick-
maintain that reputation.
Yeah, exactly. Did Bill Belichick really get fired? No, I don't. That's me. I don't think he really got fired. I
No
think
way
he said,
got fired. He definitely said, "I'm out.
Yeah,
I can't be doing this.
I
I'm
think
too
he said,
old."
"Hey Kraft, I don't want to do
About
this
that.
anymore. This dude Mac Jones sucks."
You can keep doing your massages, Robert Kraft. but
Yeah, exactly.
I'm out of here.
That's
bro.
what I'm thinking. I mean, but you.
Anyway,
you,
about the
you
Bucks,
put,
yeah.
you put head coaches just important how head coaches are
Yeah.
to a team. That Lions team was just dead. They were just dead in the water, just floating there.
Oh, I
And
know.
then this guy
Yeah.
comes in, hey, we're gonna stand. We're gonna get knocked down. Then we're gonna bite your kneecap up on the way out. Then
Yeah.
we're gonna get knocked down again. We're gonna bite your other kneecap. And then we're gonna be the last one standing. And here they are.
You ain't trying if you're really crying or swinging. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, because Dan Campbell, his life is that team, man. He puts everything into that team. He cries for every loss. He
Mhm.
drinks and celebrates for every win. I don't know. I mean, he just
Yeah.
has that energy towards him, and I think the team just surrounds him with that. I mean, the guy's revitalized like Jared Goff. Jared Goff he's like the best game manager quarterback I think in the game today.
Yeah, you could definitely say that. I mean, you see the way the team is rallying around Goff right now.
Yeah,
He was kind of dead in the water in LA.
yeah.
And then that was a huge trade. I think that if we had more trades like that in the NFL, like Stafford for Goff and a
Right.
couple first rounders,
So at
like
first we were like, oh, Rams easily won this trade, but now if the Lions get to the Super Bowl, I think it's a win-win. Even
yeah,
if they don't win it, just the fact they made it to the Super Bowl for the first time ever,
it might be the first trade in NFL history that is literally even.
like a win-win. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's just like perfect for both sides. And I mean, yeah, Goff and Baker both had like those stories of like, oh, these guys are not the same quarterbacks we thought they were gonna be. Let's just throw them to the side. And even though they played completely differently, Baker's a lot more like big risk, and Goff's more like play it safe, but he still makes big throws. I mean, just to see like the game, like these two go at it, it's just crazy in the
Yeah,
second round playoff matchup.
yeah, and Jared Goff is surrounded by a ton of studs. Amon-Ra St. Brown, that was a big late round steal that
Oh yeah,
the Lions had.
fantastic pick.
I mean, you get Sam Laporta
And
out
their rookie
there.
class, Laporta, Jameer Gibbs. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, the 1-2 punch of Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery.
yeah.
Jameer Gibbs had a very bad start to the season, but
He's been the one. He was the one getting yards today. Montgomery
Yeah.
actually got shut down pretty often. Like
Yeah.
he's our power back, the guy to get in the red zone to get that touchdown.
Yeah.
Bucks did a good job stopping him. Like Vita Vea and Vontae David did a good
Yeah.
job slowing him down.
yeah, that's why you need a guy like Jameer Gibbs on your team. You need a guy like Aaron Jones. You need a guy like
Quick,
Rashid
elusive
White.
backs,
You
yeah.
need those guys. You need those guys that can, hey, let's motion you out of the backfield, and we're
Mhm.
gonna have guys block for you on a screen route, or hey, we're gonna have you.
Oh, Lions O line's nasty. I think they're the best O line in the league.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
run by Panay Sewell,
Frank, what's his name? Frank. You know what I'm talking about. The center,
Ragnar, yeah.
You have him. There's also the left guard. I'm having trouble remembering all their names, but their Lions O line's pretty elite.
Oh yeah, like you hand the ball. You can hand the ball off to Jameer
Taylor
Gibbs.
Decker. Trying to remember. Yeah,
Yes, you can hand the ball off to Jameer Gibbs, and that kid is gonna take the rock. And if he makes one cut, he's a one cut back. And if he makes one cut, he's gone. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll have, I mean, Campbell just knows how to use his team. I mean, he out of nowhere, this guy named, what was his face, Craig Reynolds, 4th and goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have it do an HB running down the middle for the touchdown.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? it's so risky, but that's just
Mm-hmm.
Dan Campbell, man. He doesn't care.
And talk about it's a very gritty win because their
Yeah.
defense also was pretty decimated.
They won in the game. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson, he's gotten 8 sacks in the last 4 games.
That dude's a stud. That dude bleeds Michigan.
Yeah, I bet he's happy. I mean, dude, yeah, Michigan won the chip. Maybe the Lions get to the Super Bowl. Detroit is just, that's his place, man.
Yeah, it really is. And you talk about building both teams from scratch. Aiden Hutchinson helped bring Michigan back. He's
Yeah.
helping bring Detroit back. Listen, it sucks to say. Looks like the Lions are
As
the
a
kings of the
Packers fan.
NFC
Yeah.
North right now. And I don't think they're stopping anytime soon.
No, they're not. They're also one of those teams that you're looking at the future. Like you brought up Packers and Texans. I think you got to add Lions to that
Yeah.
because you really don't think about that. But yeah, they're all super young. I think Jared Goff is just about to crack 30 soon. I
Yeah.
mean, he could still go. The way he plays, he doesn't run a lot. He's a game manager. If you just have a good O line in front of him, he could play for a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you see their linebacking core. They got Rodriguez. That's a late round steal.
Yeah.
Like these guys can ball, man.
Yeah, then you have underrated guys like Alex Anzalone, just who's been around
Mhm.
the league for a while. Just all of a sudden, this year he's just been incredible, locker room leader, I would say. And then CJ Gardner Johnson, who they picked up from the Eagles,
Yeah.
still hurts my heart. I didn't want him to walk away. I wanted him over Bradbury. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
I mean, Bradbury was very good in
He was all
in New
right.
York.
Yeah.
You can say he was one of the bright spots on that defense.
Yeah.
Not that the Giants defense is bad, but Bradbury was their best
He
corner
was
at one
the best
time.
part of that defense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now, Lions going to the conference championship, man. That's just awesome for them, for Lions fans since the '90s. It's cool seeing 3 teams that have been to the dance every once in a while: Chiefs, Niners, Ravens, and then
Mhm.
just throw the Lions in there out of nowhere. It's
Yeah.
been really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the Buccaneers, So do you think they should re-sign Baker?
Yes.
You think
We
so?
signed Baker.
You don't think they should go with Kyle Trask? No, I'm playing.
Do I think? No, I don't think they should step. I think you re-sign Baker.
Yeah.
Do you? Then I don't know, because what's the long-term effect of Baker? Are you gonna win with him? Yes.
Yeah.
Are you gonna win with him?
Yeah, right. You're gonna win the big one with him.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
You could make an argument for it. He's got that quarterback moxie. He's got that. They won 9 games this year, though.
Yeah, that was weird because like the season they didn't look that good, and then all of a sudden they dominated my Eagles, and then just like all of a sudden they got this new like momentum behind them, and yeah, you saw against the Lions how close it was, and I mean I think it goes to show I think the Lions' biggest flaw is their coverage. I don't think they can really cover receivers.
Their entire like defense, their secondary was just decimated by
Right.
injuries.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's why you saw like Gardner Johnson stepping up, and then Derek Barnes with that interception at the end of the game, like just by like that close, like inches away, that they were able to get those interceptions. But I think it was more so like Baker, just like this weird placing, weird
Yeah.
decision making,
Yeah.
throwing it into those guys. I mean, but yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah, the injury riddle.
That's the difference between Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, all those guys, Burrow. They're gonna win those games when you give them the ball on the last drive.
Yeah,
They're gonna, if you give them time on the clock, that clock better be triple zeros if you're gonna give that ball back to them.
exactly.
Like you can't
Risk that.
Can't risk it. Jordan Love throws the ball back over his body in the middle of the field, intercepted. Baker Mayfield throws a stupid pass,
Yeah,
intercepted. You need that guy. Do you re-sign Baker and then draft a quarterback and hold him back there, have him learn,
do
sit
what
there?
they would the Rogers Love situation.
Exactly.
They definitely could.
They
Yeah.
100% could. Who would you draft though? Do you sit there and you go, "Hey, let's go get Michael Penix. This guy can throw the rock. He's very accurate,
Yeah.
and we can have him sit. He's projected second round. Is he a bad pick in the second round? Not at all.
No, I would definitely consider taking Penix if I had that second round pick. Maybe in that late first round pick the Buccaneers are gonna have. Yeah, I would definitely consider looking at him.
If you take Michael Penix, you have him sit for a year, learn
Yeah,
offense. Look what he did with Romaduzzi, Polk, McMillan. Like
yeah,
you put him around the Avengers. I'm not saying Michael Penix needs the Avengers. I'm not saying he's Brock Purdy, but Michael Penix is a game changer, dude. And if you put him on that Bucs team, I guarantee you, if you let him go with the flow, go with the motions, he could beat out Baker Mayfield in like the middle of the season if Baker Mayfield hits a speed bump.
has another inconsistent season. Like,
Yeah.
because we're just not used to Baker being like consistently great. Because we know he can hit those highs, Baker Mayfield. We know about that, but he also hits those low lows. We saw he was just like. I mean, that's the reason why he has on a 1-year, $4 million contract instead of a big multi-year one. It's because of that injury, that decision making that comes into question. He decided to play through that injury. He didn't want to lose a spot in the Browns, and then he went to the Rams, the Panthers, just like all over the place. So he's definitely like. I think Baker's a good teacher, though. He definitely like teach one of the younger quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And like have him learn after him how his play calling, like,
But Baker's also very young.
yeah, we always forget. Yeah, Baker Mayfield's like in his mid-20s. Like he could still.
Yeah, he can still
Stick
play.
around, yeah.
And you look at that draft class, like you look at Baker Mayfield was the number 1 draft pick.
Yeah, overall. Yeah.
With Sam Darnold and all of them and Josh Rosen.
No, I would say Baker's better than those guys.
Mm,
No offense to
of
Josh.
course,
No offense to Josh Rosen.
yeah,
That's my guy. But
Lamar, and then Lamar was picked in with the last pick of that round.
Yeah.
You can see how he turned out, but there was something there. You got to be able to trust that guy, and if that guy can play, you got to be able to put him somewhere. Baker won a game in LA with like 48 hours.
Yeah.
Being 48 hours on that team.
Like when it comes down to the situation, Baker Mayfield can come in and like definitely help out your team immediately. I mean, we saw that with the Buccaneers, even though they were only 9-8. It was just like recently they were on that streak. I wonder if it's like a figuring out process with Baker in the system, and Todd Bowles not being the best head coach like we mentioned, and just trying to figure out like what plays work and how they can win games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Buccaneers can be also a team to look out in the future because I mean the players were there when we saw with Brady. It's just like, and they were all younger guys with Brady. So I mean, if you're able to like replace those guys and keep guys like Mike Evans around, teach the younger generation.
Yeah.
And he can still contribute. Maybe like a Larry Fitzgerald, just late and stick as a Buccaneer for the rest of his career. He could definitely do something.
Yeah, like the Eagles did with Julio. I mean, you stick a guy in like that. They stuck AB in. When they won the Super Bowl, they stuck Gronk in there.
Yeah, I mean Odell for the Ravens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You bring in all those legends, and something's bound to happen. It helps soil and water
Yeah.
the roots.
Yeah,
I mean,
help it
there's
grow.
no way OBJ isn't talking to Zay Flowers
I
right
was, I
now.
was actually about to bring that up. Like, yeah, Zay Flowers probably just keeps going to Odell
Yeah,
for like,
Justin Jefferson is young, but not saying he can't mentor Jordan Addison.
100%.
I mean, you get all these guys, and it's just cool to see how when you bring in a vet like that,
Yeah.
and then you got all these young guys, how much they can really learn. Like Christian Watson had Sammy Watkins there. Sammy Watkins isn't the best, but he's a mentor.
Yeah, he could definitely teach you
He's
something.
been
Yeah.
places. He's been on the Chiefs. He saw Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. He knows how winning operates.
He was there for it all. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and then he got released or whatever.
Yeah.
But you see these guys, and you just see how the next guy up could be, or even better than what.
Who you were. Yeah.
Yeah, what he.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, so those are all the division round matchups. I mean, do you want to talk about your predictions? You want to talk about the teams that got eliminated in the wild card?
Eagles. The Eagles out.
All right, so you don't want to talk about the wild card teams. All right.
I mean, we could talk about the wild card games, but I mean,
We'll just talk about the teams themselves. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the Eagles. We just talked about the Bucks and Lions close game.
you can talk about your Eagles. I know
Look,
you're. I know
look,
you're. An
man.
I know you're an Eagle fan, and
This is some bullshit. No,
Yeah.
I'm playing.
and the coordinators got fired.
Yeah, both of them got fired. Yeah,
Just
Sean
lose to
Desai and
fucking
Brian Johnson.
Baker Mayfield.
They both suck, bro. Brian Johnson's sorry. I want he can go coach for the Falcons, bro. I don't care. Sean Desai, he was like if you lose your job to Matt Patricia, you're pretty bad. You're pretty bad at
He's
doing
so
your job.
fucking bad.
Matt Patricia, I mean, we know what he did with the Lions as a head coach. He's awful. He's terrible. Sirianni, bro. I mean, like I love the energy he brings, and I love what he's trying to do for Philly. The man can't coach.
He's not mature.
He's not mature enough. He can't coach. And you need the reason last year we were so dominant is because of the coordinators we had. Steichen and Gannon were both them as coordinators. And we saw this year's head coaches like Steichen almost brought the close to the playoffs with Gardner Minshew at quarterback, and Gannon obviously the Cardinals, rebuilding, but Dobbs won a few games with them, and at the end they were starting to figure out with Kyler beating us. They figured us out pretty easily.
Yeah, talking about the Cardinals, I mean, I can't wait to see what that team is going to be like.
They're gonna be very interesting to see what they do. Them and the Bears, I feel like how they're gonna deal with the teams.
This draft class is very weird because I want to see where Marvin Harrison Jr. goes because he's been mocked to the Cardinals a lot.
Yeah.
And they had that trade with the Texans, so they have another first rounder. There's going to be something there. You get 2 first-round draft picks. I mean, something's.
It's gonna happen. I mean, Cardinals got to do something, and they have Kyler Murray still. They have good bases, I think, and then obviously they have Gannon, who I sorely miss. I'm sorry. I thought he was the reason we lost the Super Bowl last year. I realized it's just the turf.
Yes.
No. That's the
You're
reason.
slipping all over the place. Blaming on the turf,
I'm
Kyle.
blaming turf and Bradbury. That's what I'm
Blaming
blaming.
on the turf.
Yeah, but I think the Eagles. It just came out like an hour ago that they're going looking for Vic Fangio at DC. Who
Vic Fangio, which
solid.
Yeah.
Instantly better than Desai because Fangio's actually coordinated the defense before.
Oh,
Sure,
yes.
we beat that team when they missed a field goal. But,
Yes.
when he was a head coach for them. But,
To be honest, Eagles were the biggest frauds this year in my mind because you guys
wow,
don't,
yeah.
you
They had
guys-
such a strong start. Yeah.
you guys don't have double-digit wins if you guys don't have Jake Elliott on the team.
No,
That's where I've been.
He
tough.
saved us a lot,
Every
and
game.
obviously, AJ Brown getting hurt didn't help. That
Doesn't-
offensive line's great until it wasn't. I don't know when you keep calling QB draws and screens, it's predictable. I mean, McCaffrey on the Manning cast knew the plays were going to run against the Bucks. He's on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to know that. The defensive side of the ball is supposed to know that.
Right.
Really. Yeah. So I mean, it was just a whole mess at the end of the year. Kelsey's retiring or he's not. I have no idea. If he does,
I think he's retiring.
he should honestly. I don't want him to be here for this team next year.
He doesn't deserve it.
Exactly. He's too good. He just needs to retire now because
Go be with your girls.
exactly. Go hang out with your family. Go do your podcast with Travis. Go hang out with Taylor Swift. Take your shirt off.
jump back in the box.
That's gonna be the next game. That's gonna be the Chiefs Ravens game. He's gonna do that.
He jumped out of the box. He jumped out of the box last
Oh
year.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So if I'm the Eagles, I mean,
Talk about a kick-ass wife too. She is awesome.
oh, she's great. I
Yeah.
love her. Not like that though. That's her. That's his wife. Yeah, but Jalen Hurts is great. Still, I think obviously the injury sucked on his hand. Missing AJ Brown sucked. Devontae Smith's great. I think he was carrying that team towards the end of its run.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those catches he had were awesome. The O line was weird. Like I said, the plays were predictable, and the defense, bro. Defense was awful. Like losing TJ Edwards was not. I didn't think it was that big of a loss. Oh no, our linebackers were horrendous. You could pass right down the middle, they'd be wide open.
Yeah, I mean the Eagles just at the end talk about a crumble.
yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah,
I've obviously seen teams crumble like that, but to do it in that fashion, to be, oh, we're Super Bowl favorites.
Yeah.
You don't think they're gonna lose ever, and then they lose to the Jets.
Ooh.
They,
That was a little like, okay.
yeah, they
That's
play
a little bad.
Washington close, and you're like, all right. I mean,
I knew since week 1 when we played the Patriots close. That's when I knew, like, this
Yeah.
team's a little different.
Yeah.
This one I knew, like, wait a minute, why is Mac Jones blazing us right now? Why is Hunter Henry looking like he's back in
Yeah.
2018?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Eagles, I mean, they were fraudulent, man. But speaking of fraudulent, I mean, the Cowboys, your Packers beat them.
It feels so good to own 2 franchises.
Yeah, right?
Talk about the Bears and the Cowboys being owned. You know when the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl? When Jerry
Never.
Jones dies.
Probably.
The
But,
year after Jerry Jones dies is when the Cowboys are going to win
dude,
the
they're just
Super
trying to get
Bowl.
past the second round at this point. They're trying to,
Yeah.
make it past.
100% agree. I mean, they are...
I can't believe they're keeping
Horrible.
McCarthy. You know Mike McCarthy, but
Aaron Rodgers, the best thing Aaron Rodgers ever did in Green Bay was not win the Super Bowl. It was literally throwing a season away just to prove a point that Mike McCarthy fucking blows.
he sucks ass.
Yeah.
And then right when they hired Matt LaFleur, Aaron Rodgers won back-to-back MVP.
And drafted Jordan Love. I think that little bit of fire in Aaron.
Yeah, definitely that too. That definitely was like, they think I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, Cowboys. I mean, what do you do, man?
Can't get
I
CD
guess you
the
gotta wait
ball.
till Jerry Jones dies. Yeah,
Dak sucks.
yeah, Dak in the playoffs is horrendous, bro. They remember those MVP talks Dak was getting.
Listen,
At one point,
that's
the
almost
MVP
as ridiculous as Brock Purdy getting.
I was gonna say
MVP talks.
those were the 2 front runners at one point. And no one's talking about Lamar. Everyone was like, oh, Dak or Brock Purdy. Who's the 2? It's like, what am I watching?
Battle
here?
of the mid.
I was
MVP.
like, can McCaffrey or Tyreek Hill just not win it?
No, I mean, I think Tyree kind of fell off too.
Yeah, it just happened.
I
Dolphins in December.
thought he was gonna win get 2,000 this year.
We'll
But
talk about the Dolphins. Don't worry. That's the next one. But yeah, Cowboys. I mean, like the defense just sucked against the Packers. They got blown out. Score says otherwise. That's just because the second half was garbage time for them because the Packers were like, we won.
yeah,
So
exactly.
we'll take a
It
rest.
had me a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie. They
Yeah,
put Sean Clifford in, and I was like, oh, let's figure this one out first.
Should we just keep loving? Maybe.
Yeah. And then Joe Barry was like, all right, let's just drop everyone back and take what you can get.
I think after that game, you should have just fired Joe Barry.
I was like, whew. I was like, oh my god. And then they put Jordan back in and Aaron Jones back in.
you're like, all right, we're good.
I was like, all right, we're fine.
Yeah.
We can cover this.
Yeah, but oh my god, Cowboys were known for like their home. They were undefeated at home.
Mhm.
Their defense was incredible all year with Micah, with DeMarcus Lawrence. Stephon Gilmore coming in. They were incredible, and then all of a sudden, Packers was like, nah, Jordan Love, perfect QBR. Like,
yeah. Cowboys suck. Oh my god, they just suck.
just sorry.
Lockdown CD Lamb, lockdown Brandon Cooks. Jake Ferguson had himself a game.
Oh,
I
yeah.
respect that dude.
Ferguson's always the Cowboys tight ends. They're always
Tony Pollard has had a lot of problems this year.
I don't know what happened.
No.
Pro Bowler last year, and then this year's just been horrendous.
Yeah, Tony Pollard fell off a cliff this year.
Just call Zeke back up.
Who?
Just call Ezekiel.
Zeke.
Elliott.
Yeah.
Get him on the phone.
Oh yeah, Patriots. Call the Patriots. Get him back.
Yeah, we need an offensive lineman, man. We need blocking.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Have him switch.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, there you go.
And then you got Miami. I mean,
Oh yeah, you go to Miami. Yeah, wow. I mean, ice cold. And by that I mean Tua, because shit, man, he just couldn't get anything going.
Tua. Listen, I
feel bad for Mike McDaniel because he's a good coach. I feel it.
Yeah, I feel like Mike McDaniels needs his Stafford and Goff trade.
He needs that system quarterback. He needs like that like a game manager, like a Jared Goff or a Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say game manager. I think
They
they need another sparky quarterback.
Bro, if Josh Allen was in that system. That's
Don't even
raps.
get me started.
That's
Come on.
raps.
Come
That's
on.
raps. That's perfect. He throws a deep ball. It's just like If honestly the Dolphins, if they go for a quarterback in the draft this year, that would be surprising because Tua was such a high pick. But it'd be surprising. But then after a while, I'll be like, I get it. Because like, Tua just hasn't. He's been so weird. It's been super inconsistent. Obviously, the concussions last year probably didn't help.
They need a big spark guy. I don't think Tua can do that. I don't think he can move enough. I think he can get the ball where he wants to sometimes.
Yeah, like you see flashes of Tua from Alabama. You're like, oh right, that's the guy I saw in college who, I thought
literally won the national championship for them, coming in for Jalen Hurts with Devontae Smith.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I mean that you see that too, and you're like, oh, Dolphins, they got their guy. They're gonna win They haven't won a playoff game since 2000. They're the team that hasn't won a playoff game. I think it's like they're like the most like the oldest team that hasn't won one.
Yeah,
The Jets won a playoff game more recently than the Dolphins. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, that's saying something.
Exactly, because the Jets have been horrendous. They've been awful.
But yeah, Mike McDaniel. I feel bad for Mike McDaniels because he's a really good coach. He's got a really good personality. He's very successful. He also comes from that Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur,
that whole
group. I mean that's a really good. There's a really good offensive minds who have their guy.
Yeah,
they have their guy.
Yeah.
You get Stafford, you have Brock, you have Jordan, and you got Tua. The draft class is good.
Yeah, they have those guys. I mean, look, Tua looks great, and I mean, like they have their coach, Mike McDaniel, I think. And I mean, we want to talk about a coach and not moving on from him. I mean, the Steelers. Yeah, they've another winning season, but you just got stomped out by the Bills first round.
Yeah, I don't know how Mike Tomlin does it. I
really
don't. I really don't understand it, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, he gets there, and then they lose immediately. So it's like you don't have a good draft pick.
They were 11-0 at one point, Kyle. 11-0. They were 11-0 at one point, and then got smoked in the playoffs.
Dude, that reminded me so much of the Eagles this year. I was like, we're looking like the Steelers from a couple of years ago. That's I felt it exactly. I felt it right when when Chase Claypool was like, "Oh, no one can stop us." I felt that when Nick Sirianni was like, "How about them Chiefs now?
Them Chiefs now, baby!"
Like, let's go.
Just
like,
instantly.
I was like, I felt like a little like pin drop. I felt like something in my stomach. Like this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steelers. I mean, they were missing T.J. Watt, obviously.
Yeah.
They were missing the best player on their team. So the Bills, crushed them. I love that press conference Tomlin had. Like, oh, another winning season. Where did that get you? He just walked off.
Yeah.
I'm not doing.
So,
this shit.
Do they want to bring you back next year and just gets up and walks out? I mean, it's.
I get why
he wins.
Yeah, he wins games. Like it's like I don't know. It's not. I feel like it's not his fault. I feel like it still gets there. There's a certain factor in my opinion, obviously, but you still have. Dude, you had Mason Rudolph at quarterback, all right? Like Kenny Pickett wasn't healthy.
They need a game changer so bad,
right?
And it's not even funny. Like they need that quarterback. They need that wide receiver. Like sure, George Pickens is good. Deontay Johnson.
He's giving me heavy Antonio Brown vibes right now, George Pickens.
Yeah.
It's always that dramatic receiver, man.
Yeah. You gotta get that quarterback, man. And when you don't have it, Jalen Warren really added a lot to their team.
Oh, he was great. Yeah.
Whew.
Great power behind him. Like he had that momentum, he had that energy. Yeah. Like he was like motivating the guys.
Najee even picked up at the end of the year, and I don't think a lot of people were gonna call that.
No, Najee, I mean, he's just been so off since he left college.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Obviously, because you can say the O-line for the Steelers is pretty weak, but they got there because of the defense. I'm gonna be honest, their defense is the reason they're there. Yeah. Because you saw their offense all year with Matt Canada initially. Holy crap, that was a bad offense. Probably the worst offense I've seen in the league.
I agree, but good defense, Browns.
Yeah, the Browns, man. I mean, but against the Texans, man, they just got. Well, I will say they did all right. The Browns' defense did all right. It's more so that just Joe Flacco threw 2 pick sixes, kind of won the Texans the game. Their defense did awesome.
Yeah,
with Nico Ryans.
I think Joe Flacco had his little Linsanity run, and it was all over from there.
Good for all the old fellas.
Go back to sleep, old man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, go get AARP on the phone. Yeah. Going back. Yeah, I mean Joe Flacco. I mean, obviously, woohoo, comeback player of the year, good for you. Just get stomped by the Texans' young teams. He just just balled out on you, showing you the young generation.
Amari Cooper, listen, he had a really good end of the year.
Amari was awesome. Yeah, he was great. I mean, you can see the Browns. He was key in that Browns offense because. My God, they make Deshaun Watson look like a competent quarterback.
You think Nick Chubb ever plays again?
Dude, after that injury, I actually watched that injury again recently. Just it's brutal, man. I mean, I don't know.
Same leg in college, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to ease your way back in. I don't think he's going to play right off the bat. I think they're going to have Ford and I think I have Jerome Ford really take over.
If I'm him, I don't play this season. Next season.
Yeah, you think
if I'm him, I don't play.
Yeah. Because honestly, I think he's behind McCaffrey when he's healthy, best running back in the league. He's for me at least. Because Chubb he was that Browns offense in the first few weeks, and then the injury happened, and you just saw this team go through a rough patch with Deshaun.
Yeah,
and then he gets hurt. I mean, the Browns had a lot of injuries this year. I would say that's one of the reasons why they lost.
Yeah, and then Myles Garrett, that's another dude. Yeah. You just don't want to see him.
No, Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald, man. Those two. We'll get to the Rams, but those two, Myles Garrett is scary, man. He's the reason why the Browns were probably the best defense in the league. Until the Ravens, and at the end of the season, really surpassed them. Browns were in the beginning and middle were the reason the Browns were still winning games.
Myles Garrett,
crap their offense was.
Myles Garrett, you can it's so difficult to choose T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, like one of those guys. Like it's so difficult. They're just such game changers on the defensive side of the ball. And if you're not careful, a helmet
Yeah.
might come flying your way. I'm
You,
just saying.
you got to be careful, man.
Yeah,
Miles Garrett gonna hunt you down. He's gonna murder you. He's gonna find you where you sleep.
100%.
And you're gonna die probably.
I 100% agree with that statement.
Yeah. So I mean, the Browns. I wouldn't say their defense was the reason they got there. It's just Joe Flacco. Yeah, it was just a matter of the Texans just coming out and just showing how much they want to be there, proving that these aren't the Texans of old. They're not the same crap Texans. They're the team that wanted to probably go to the conference championship for the first time ever. They're still the only team that haven't never been to the conference championship is the Texans.
I didn't even know that. That's actually really good.
Yeah, they're the only team that's never been past the second round. Obviously, because they're one of the newer teams. But Jaguars at least made it a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Texans, man, I just can't get over them. Like
Yeah.
we talked about them earlier, and like CJ Stroud. I've been a fanboy for
potential's
CJ
there,
Stroud.
man. You see it.
Yeah, I've been a fanboy of CJ Stroud since he was in high school. Like
Right.
you watch him come up, he's been an underdog his entire life.
And usually Ohio State quarterbacks never pan out, but like
No.
I was watching like more like college football games before that draft happened,
Yeah.
and I saw a lot in him. I was confused why people were talking about Bryce Young. I'm like, look, any Alabama quarterback can be awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
look at Tua, Hurts for a little bit. I mean, Mac Jones. I mean,
You want to hear a story about CJ Stroud real quick?
Yeah, what's up?
He was very like underrated coming out of high school.
Yeah.
And then do you know who DJ Uiagalelei is?
I actually don't. No.
He was the top quarterback or the second best quarterback behind Bryce Young in high school.
Okay.
And he couldn't make it because his team was going for the championship.
Right.
Like they wanted to win it all. So he dropped out of the Elite 11. He was like, I don't want to go to the Elite 11 anymore.
Right.
And then CJ Stroud goes to the Elite 11, lights it up, MVP. And Julian Fleming, the best wide receiver in that class, he has since transferred to Penn State. Julian Fleming didn't really make it. CJ Stroud then gets an offer from Ohio State. He calls up Ryan Day, and Ryan Day is like, all right, let's get the guy on the team. Gets him on the team. CJ Stroud sits, comes out next year, and just balls out. He's
That's incredible.
an underdog through and through. He shot up the rankings right after winning the Elite 11 MVP.
Oh yeah. And I mean, yeah, Texans, they just have that underdog spirit. I mean, they're the definition of underdog, like I mentioned, because they've never been to a conference championship. They weren't expecting anything this year.
No.
They were supposed to be bottom 3 worst team. I mean, I had them. I actually looked at I had one of my notes earlier before the playoffs started this year, like my preseason predictions. I had Texans, I think, second worst team behind the Cardinals. I did not think they were going anywhere this year.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I thought Panthers were going to be a little bit better. Just because of
Adam Thielen and all
yeah,
that.
exactly, the weapons they had. I thought Miles Sanders would do something. No,
Not at all.
Not at all. I was
No.
wrong. That's just me being the Eagles fan. I am.
Also, Frank Reich sucked.
Yeah, he does. Hey, maybe get back to OC for the Eagles.
That's what I'm thinking.
Get the old fellas. We got Vanjie already. Might as well get Frank Reich. Let's just get the elderly
Resign him.
community.
Resign him. I think the Packers might be looking at an old fella too for defense coordinators. People are like Ron Rivera. I'm like, I don't think so.
I mean, yeah, Ron Rivera, he can be good, but I don't know. I think he's past his time.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were talking about the wild card teams. I think this is the only team that actually like put up a fight in the wild card round.
Mhm.
Is the Rams. That was a good game against the Lions. Like that was actually like a game worth watching. I was in the first round.
Yeah, you talk about another.
I mean, Cowboys Packers was fun to watch just because the Cowboys just
the Cowboys suck.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, if you're an Eagles hater, that was probably fun to watch too. But yeah, the Rams Lions was actually just a great game.
Rams Lions was a great game. You know, Matthew Stafford, welcome home, and he gave it his all. Puka Nacua.
Yeah, Puka's
That's another rookie.
If Stroud didn't have the run he had, Puka would. Yeah, he's definitely offensive rookie of the year.
100%.
If Stroud just didn't pop off like he did.
Yeah.
Because they're obviously going to give it to a quarterback if there's a good quarterback out there.
Cooper Kupp. You got Kyron Williams, who was turning up.
That's another young team, man. If they find, I mean, Stafford's older, but if they find like a good quarterback replacement for him for the future, yeah, you have Kyron, like you said, yeah, Puka. Kupp, he's a little bit older, but he's not too old. You just got to rebuild that defense a little bit. I think that's the reason they lost that game.
Yeah, Aaron Donald. Who knows if he retires at the end of the year?
Yeah,
I think
him and Sean McVay have been like considering retirement since that Super Bowl win.
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess just the
So like we got the one ring, we're done.
The hunger just isn't there anymore.
Right, they got the one, and they're like, all right, cool.
Yeah, like they trade Ramsey away because Ramsey kind of got like. He was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, he got older. He didn't have the same motivation he did before he joined.
Yeah, he didn't want to be there. Aaron, you're not going to trade Aaron. You're gonna retire him. And Sean McVay, he's young. I don't know why he has so many more years in this league.
He can coach forever.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like you see a bunch of these guys. You see like Belichick and all them. Like they
Andy
could be
Reid.
one of those guys.
Dude, he could definitely be like an Andy Reid, just stick around forever.
Yeah,
Be a
100%.
great offensive coach.
Yeah, Andy Reid he was building.
Yeah.
Who built the Chiefs?
Yeah, built the Eagles, built the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so overall, that was the wild card round, and I mean, we're looking at the Final Four here. Ravens, Chiefs. Who you got winning that one?
I really don't want to say the Chiefs. I really want to say the Ravens. They're very, very, very elite. I think the Ravens are so good. I think Lamar Jackson is so good.
Dominant. Yeah.
You have to play in Baltimore. Something just says to me, Chiefs. I'm not gonna lie.
The script. You need the villain in the Super Bowl. Man.
Yeah, it really sucks to say that I think the Chiefs somehow pull this game out.
I mean, the last 6 conference championships, they've been to 5 of them.
Yeah.
And I think 3 of those were Super Bowl appearances, maybe 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, the Chiefs, I could definitely... So you're going with Chiefs, then?
I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs in the AFC side.
Dang.
What about you?
I mean, look, the Chiefs, as long as they don't give the ball to McCole Hardman, they could.
Yeah.
Might fumble it a little bit. But the Ravens, like, we were bringing up earlier, like, the flaws with every team. I didn't see any flaws in the Ravens. I saw none at all. Their passing was incredible. Lamar could do both sides of the ball in his sleep, eyes closed. The O-line blocked for him was great. Not to mention the Chiefs are going to be missing Joe Tooney, who's one of their guards. I think he's their best offensive lineman, him or Creed Humphrey. On the defense, I mean, the Chiefs' defense was probably the better part of their team for the season. L'Jarius Sneed could cover anyone. But Zay Flowers, OBJ, Aguilar, is Mark Andrews coming back for that?
I'm not sure.
You think it's still me likely? Or it's me likely as Al, but likely's playing. Yeah,
I see that.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. All
That's a
right,
good one.
I got the whole crowd laughing. But I'm gonna go with the Ravens on that. I just think it's a Ravens Super Bowl to lose. I think they're the ones that are gonna win it all.
Yeah.
So you think
There we go NFC side?
49ers Lions?
I think depending if Brock Purdy doesn't shit his pants, 49ers,
that's tough.
49ers are gonna win that game.
You think 49ers? So you're going 49ers Chiefs. You're going to be miserable for the Super Bowl.
I do want to be miserable.
Yeah, you don't want
to
because you're gonna be like, I don't want to see either one of these teams to win.
Yeah.
But I'm going for the joyful Super Bowl. I'm going to pick the Lions to beat the 49ers. So we're going with the exact opposite.
Okay, we can do that. That's fine.
Hey, best man win. But I think the Lions showed that, so their weakest part of the Lions was their coverage, I would say. It's covering those big receivers. And obviously, the 49ers' best part is the receivers like Kittle and, Jennings popped off and you have Ayuk. But I think Brock is going to fall under the pressure of that D-line. The D-line knows how to pressure the quarterback. And Trent Williams can't do all 5 positions. I will say he's the only part of their own line. The other 4 guys are all right. But Trent's just so good that he just blocks for all of them at this point.
Yeah.
But that Lions D-line could really pressure him with, Hutchinson, Alim McNeil, Okwara. Like, they have the guys to do it. And I think Hutchinson's that guy. And then not to mention the Lions O-line against the 49ers defensive line, which the defensive line for the 49ers is really good. Bosa. That Bosa-Penei Sewell matchup's going to be – that's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. And Chase Young, put Chase Young on the other side. You can't forget about Chase Young.
Yeah,
man.
that's why I'm saying the Lions O-line is like the best in the league. And I think the 49ers D-line might be the 49ers have the best D-line because the linebackers go to the Ravens, I would say. Yeah, but that's going to be I think the Lions 49ers game is the one to watch. I think personally, I think the Ravens just dominate the Chiefs.
Dominate?
Dude, well, the Chiefs don't get in that role they usually get in. I think Ravens can I'm gonna be biting my words, I bet you, but
I don't think the Chiefs have been ever dominated.
30-3, man, Ravens, let's go.
30-3.
Yeah, that's a prediction.
Man could only wish.
Ravens Lions, man, that's my Super Bowl prediction. I just want to have fun, man. I want to have a good Super Bowl.
Do you want to do predictions next week about who's gonna win the Super Bowl, or do we want to drop it right now?
We can. I mean, no, you know what? We'll save it.
We can save it
after this weekend's games. I'll be like, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So everyone, thank you for joining the pod. I was with Dax Kukan, the man.
Kyle, I appreciate it, my brother.
Yeah,
hopefully
anytime.
Next week we can do this.
Yeah, hopefully we can do this and maybe have video this time.
Yes,
and I've been Kyle Rudart. This has been the Rude Awakening. Starting off your morning with 2 eggs and a stack of hot takes. All right, have a good rest of your day, everyone.